underestimate
the power
of a single
conversation.
It could change your whole life.
INCRadio Chat Line.
conversations that matter.
Hey everyone! Thanks for tuning into INCRadio Chat Line, and today we're talking about, well, we might be judging each other for our tastes and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully you won't be judging me for my taste, because there's some stuff that I think might be hot takes. Like one that I can think of is, I don't know if anybody knows what ube is. I'm not a huge ube fan, for those Filipinos who are out there.
Boo.
I don't know if that shocks Arnie.
Boo.
That is a crime.
Boo.
That is a crime.
Here we go.
Is
Here
it
we go.
really?
We're
It
starting right away.
is. You know, because even non-Filipinos like ube. So how could you not be a fan of ube?
I like
When
it as
it's from
ice
the
cream.
Philippines.
As ice cream, but everything else, I'm like,
Okay, then that's okay because the ice cream is the best one.
It's the most whimsical purple sweet potato.
flavor.
It should be in our DNA already.
Oh no! So does that make me not Filipino?
I mean, for those who don't know, the ube is just a purple sweet potato.
Yeah.
Unless that offends people. Is that accurate?
I think that's accurate. I don't know if is it sweet potato? They call it yam.
It's a giant
Yeah.
root. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a root.
Yeah, but it's more popular. I know it's gotten more popular, so I feel like more people know about it because I've seen it at like different coffee places and like here in the States, Starbucks, like some places nearby me. It's actually popular now. But
Yeah,
now
it's
I would be
cool.
happy about it. But
I used to not like it until someone made me a cake and it tasted just like
Ube
chocolate
cake.
cake. Yeah.
But hey, Tony said
Oh.
earlier, you like it in ice cream form?
in ice cream form, but everything else, because I guess for me, the reason why I mentioned that specific one is because I have the tendency to kind of shy away from overhyped things. And I don't know if that's me judging. Is that me like judging the thing before
Oh.
trying the thing because it's hyped?
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, we liked it before it was hyped out.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
originally before anyone even knew what it was about, we already liked it. People
So
are
you
just
liked
now,
it before it was cool. As the
yes,
meme
people
goes.
are now just jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Usually you see it in halo halo.
Yes,
Right.
I love
Really?
halo halo. I will eat it, and yeah, I'll take
It's
it.
always
but
an
that's
ube
not-
ice cream on top of it.
I don't like halo halo. I'll just
Really?
say no.
Oh, okay.
I'm like beans. Why are there beans in my drink?
I knew you were gonna say that. It's usually what
Beans?
turns
What?
people off.
Sometimes I ask, can it just be the flan, the leche flan?
Yeah,
Or
when
the
they're mixing
jellies.
everything and then they throw in the
Yeah.
beans, I'm like, okay.
I don't do the beans. I do
I love
everything
the
else
beans
but the
too.
beans.
No, not the beans.
Really?
Not the
It's red
beans.
bean, right? Is it? What is it?
It
Is
doesn't
red bean?
matter.
And-
It doesn't
If you're
matter.
just
It's
not a
beans.
It
fan.
doesn't matter. It shouldn't be there.
I feel like
Beans is not a dessert.
I don't mind it. I grew to like it actually. And when I was younger, I would just only eat the jellies. But I feel like as I got older, I was like, I think
I feel
I
like it was a
can enjoy
prank
it.
that went way too far.
And the coconut things.
Okay? It was a prank that went way too far. You're like, drink this, and like this has beans in it though. And like it's good, I promise.
It always stays there at the bottom. It's,
What about you, Brother Renz? Is there anything that's like that for you? Any like hot takes of your preferences that people have judged you for?
ah, me not liking vegetables.
Oh no, we're on the same team for that.
That's just how it is. That's just how it is.
I don't mind vegetables, but I just don't eat them.
Well, some of it. Some of it.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But
Some-
vegetables are so good for you, and they actually taste good.
Depends.
Yeah,
on
that's
who
what they
cooks
I think
it.
that's
say.
debatable.
I mean, that's the thing. If you cook it yourself, then you know it's good.
You need more protein than you need fiber.
Yeah. Okay, my
And it
wife's
depends on
listening.
the veggies. Like the bitter melon, I would never eat a bitter melon because that's nasty.
Ooh.
See, but you know your typical broccolis and carrots and corn. Yeah, sure.
That's what's funny about bitter melon. It's like should be no surprise what it tastes like. I remember trying it and I'm like, yeah, it tastes bitter. Yep.
Well,
I
see, we
read-
weren't
Accurate.
we weren't told it was bitter melon because we were given the other name, so we didn't know it was bitter until we actually tasted it.
I remember my wife. She was like, "Try it. My bitter melon is not bitter. It's bitter. No matter what you do, no matter what you mixed in it, it's gotta be bitter."
Egg. I've actually had it not bitter before though. There's someone that cooked it once. They cook it with like egg. I
Yeah,
think what you're
I
supposed
want
to
that
do
one.
to make it not bitter is like you have to like you have to like soak it in water to get like the
Yeah,
juice.
that's what
I
they're
don't know.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
I
it
don't
sounds like a
prefer
prank
it.
that went too far. You're like, "Ooh, try this." You're like, "Whoa, what is in this?"
All the extreme stuff is just
And it
prank.
doesn't look appetizing. Sorry, doesn't look appetizing. Really.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm looking at Team Live Chat also. The Matthew Bungai said that he's sorry if I butchered your last name. He's eating salad for the past 2 weeks. Salad is also
Oh,
debatable. I feel like with people. Have you guys heard that some people they don't like it because they don't take vegetables raw? They don't like the idea of eating raw vegetables. I don't know if that's a Filipino thing
Yeah.
or if that's a no.
I mean,
I don't know.
I
I've
don't
always
mind vegetables. I just don't eat them.
I've always liked salad, just cause. But I don't like to eat it when I'm on a diet.
is there like a difference when it comes to acquiring nutritional value if it's raw or cooked?
They do say like if you cook vegetables,
It takes away stuff.
you can lose some of
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Ah,
it's better
yeah.
raw.
Or if you wash it,
Depending how it's cooked.
thoroughly.
yeah, but then you end up not eating your vegetables, so then it's better to get some than none, right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like that one's pretty like split 50-50. Like some people don't mind. I feel like me and Brother Benz are on the where we don't really care for, and then maybe Arnie, Nate are closer in terms of
I eat salad as a cheat meal. I mean, it's just not a regular thing
cheap.
for me. Yeah,
Mm.
salad is a cheat meal. For
That's
me.
a cheat meal.
I don't
I
eat
usually
vegetables.
have
just
I
don't.
usually have salads in the summertime when it's too hot to cook anything.
Mm.
And that's
Yeah, you
easier
don't want
'cause
to
you
eat soup
throw
in the
it on
summer.
together. No, I do not do soup in the summer.
Yeah, it's a
No.
terrible idea.
Ooh, good reminder from Jane. Veggies are good for your gut microbiome, fiber, prebiotics.
See, I told you
Yeah.
veggies are good.
I know. I didn't say they're not good for you, but they're not pleasant all the time. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's not pleasant.
Occasionally.
Okay.
I think that
We'll have it.
my favorite thing to have veggies is in lumpia. Lumpia vegetable, that's my favorite. See, that I will do every
Okay.
day.
That's another hot take of mine though, because I don't really I get it. I get the hype, but I don't really care for lumpia.
You know what?
I don't care for it.
Yeah, that's
Like
the end of
the
this
hype.
show.
Same Nate.
No, I was just joking. That's the end of this show. I mean,
Oh,
Lumpia is good.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
It's
saying
just
it's not good,
It's
but it's just
not
not
good
my
for you,
thing.
like at all. It's deep fried. It's
True.
it's like Texas State Fair food. You cannot eat that all the time.
I mean, you can lumpia anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a hot
It
take.
can be a banana.
That's a hot
If
take.
you lumpia certain things that aren't supposed to be lumpia, you're gonna be
Okay.
upon.
So Matt put something in the chat. He says, I think if you can find a way to enjoy them, then you can get past the idea of eating veggies. Totally agree. My grandma made it fun for us. We did not like vegetables, but when she would serve us broccoli, she goes, oh, look, these are little trees. And so we ate little trees.
But my mom, when I was a kid, she made it fun. Like, masking it as an airplane. I still don't like it.
You know what's one of the biggest lies is that remember from pop culture cartoons that you can eat spinach and build muscle?
Oh,
What a
yeah.
lie. No, you cannot.
It
Spinach
did
does
not happen. It did not.
Spinach does not make you strong. There's no protein in spinach.
What is it? It's iron. I think it's iron, right? It's like
It's a
rich
leaf.
in-
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a leaf.
It's a
yeah,
leaf.
it's a leaf. Yeah.
You're eating a
Different
bowl
thing.
of leaves.
It's just there.
Arnie, you didn't get to mention anything. I feel like I've been in the hot seat. I want to put you in the hot seat a little bit. If there's anything that you think you're
Don't change the subject. No, I'm just
perfect.
kidding.
Still about salad.
This is
Trying
becoming a
to
roast.
get away
This is
from the
becoming a roast show.
roasting each
Um,
other. Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. I mean, like, I think for me, probably clothes, because I'm not the type that's all about what's out today. I think even when I was younger, I didn't care what the fashion was. I wasn't the type that said, oh, look, this is what everyone's wearing. This is what I want to wear. I'm more on the comfy side. If it's comfortable, I
Same.
want to wear it. And people would always mock me because I can do anything in slippers. I could drive in slippers. I could play sports in slippers. I can do everything in slippers. And they were like, put on some shoes. And I'm like, no, it's not comfortable. I like slippers. So that's one thing people always judge me on, is that I wear slippers. But when I do have to get dressed up, I do get dressed up. But if it was my choice, if I could wear slippers 24/7, I totally would.
I feel like that's a pretty
24/7,
acceptable
even
one.
in your sleep,
Well, not in my sleep, just when I'm out and about. I don't even
Some
wear
people
slippers.
wear socks while they're sleeping, and then there's Arnie wearing slippers.
Well, if you're wearing a onesie, right? The onesies, you have that's
What?
full
Is that
on,
even a thing?
covered.
Do adults wear that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I have one.
onesie?
I have
Really?
one.
Yes, I have one too.
With the hat and everything?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
got to be the
Mine is a
gown.
panda.
It's got to be the gown with the candle and then the hat. You got to get the whole.
That should be our outfit for next week.
Uh,
No, we have theme parties. Like for New Year's, one time we did have a onesie party, so everyone in the family had to wear onesies, not just the kids, but even the adults. But yes, they have those for everybody.
mhm.
When it comes to guys, they judge you if you own a pair of pajamas. Like if you're a manly guy.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
That's
Like-
a thing? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
I mean, I didn't think much of it, but I'm like, yeah, I did turn all my pajamas into just gym shorts. I'm like, I can wear it to bed,
Mhm.
or I can take it to the gym. They serve the same function.
Mm.
And guys, I guess when they get older, they start doing that. They're like, I should just consolidate everything into how I can use it.
I wear joggers in sleeping.
Your joggers and sleeping.
Yeah, it's
No.
comfy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to do sweat.
It doesn't matter to me if it's for running or sleeping or
Yeah.
just running around the house.
I bought like 15 pairs of the same black gym shorts.
Oh wow.
And that's
So
going to sleep
we
or going
have,
to the gym.
we have someone in the audience who did write about. Jane wrote, "I wore black all the time in high school. People thought I was goth." And you know what? That's true though. That's what people think. But sometimes
Yeah.
people just, like people like to wear black because then it's it kind of slims you down, right? Or for other
Yes.
reasons,
Yes.
or like she said, it
Monocolor.
matches everything.
Mono-
But when you're wearing all black in school, people do think you're goth.
yeah.
See, that's
I know,
what
why
I look
jump to
like
that
at the gym
conclusion,
now
huh?
because I got black shorts and black shirts. So it's just black all the time.
You're goth now.
Yeah. I'm goth now.
You're goth now. Yeah, I designate you into.
Because it also hides stains a lot easier too. Like with white
That's
shirts,
true.
you see it
Yes.
get dingy so quickly.
Yes.
That's why I personally don't like even shoes. I hate buying like white shoes. If it's gifted to me, I'm like, all right, that's fine. But I
But
never
even-
go out of
It
my way.
stains.
Even black
a
shoes,
lot.
though. Black shoes show dirt quite a bit.
Mm,
I'm looking at my black
Not
shoes. They're
really.
dirty.
depends.
Go brown.
You have to be really dirty to show dirt on black shoes.
No, you wear camo. That way they can't see it at all. If there's a stain
Oh.
on it, it's just part of the pattern.
It's part of the.
Yeah.
But what about dress shoes? You can't have that in camo.
You got me there. You got me
Oh.
there.
Camel, yeah. I thought you said camel.
You know what I don't like that's controversial? Because I'm a movie buff. I do not like Lord of the Rings, and I do not like Harry Potter.
Mm,
As
I can't.
most
I'm
of
not
us.
As a
gonna
movie
argue
buff.
with that.
Huh?
Yeah.
But
Trying not
you
to
know what?
judge you right now.
I feel like okay, same as you. I also regard myself as someone who likes movies, but I haven't watched those things.
No.
Yeah, I haven't watched those things.
You should
Fantasy?
Watch.
Are you against fantasy in general, or it's just those?
Yes.
specifically?
Not really.
I
not
think
really,
I am
but
kind of, yeah.
it's long.
Oh,
The
okay.
movies are long.
I
Yeah.
kind of get that.
I know it's deep in lore, but
I-
it's
I
long.
gave it 3 chances. Okay, Lord of the Rings, not Harry Potter. I didn't even give it 1 chance.
Is anyone judging in the chat? Is anyone judging?
But yeah, I gave Lord of the Rings 3 chances. And
As
I'm
a
like,
Harry Potter fan, I'm judging you, is what Matt is saying.
I
I'm
get
not
it.
a Harry Potter fan either. I haven't
Sorry.
even watched one whole movie.
I think it's because though, like when I first watched it, I think I was in 9th grade when I first watched it when it first came out.
Mhm.
And then, when you're in high school and you go through the years, your rebellious teen years,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
look down on things that are related to your childhood. So I think it's just from that time frame because it was part of that
Mm.
time where it's like I don't want to be associated with childish things. So then cut it out.
You know, when people are when that was popular and kids my age are watching it and even reading the books, I gave Harry Potter a chance. Like, "Eh, really, they like this?"
I'm so sad.
We're judging you.
I'm not
Tony.
judging.
Uh,
I'm
I
not
think, I
judging.
think you're the only Harry
Judging you,
Potter
Tony.
fan here, huh?
I'm not judging. I'm just I
Shout out
enjoy
to my wife who likes
in
Twilight.
See, even Twilight, I could
uh
not get into
Really,
Twilight.
people like that.
No.
No, we're not judging anyone.
But at the same time, I
Not
know
judging.
like a lot of the movies that I watch are. I'm just gonna say it, they're dumb. I just couldn't get behind her. You know the suspension of disbelief. I just cannot get into it for Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. And I could watch like sillier, worse movies, but those
But
two
is there
just
any
because of the
other
hype.
fantasy that you enjoyed though, Nate? That you thought was like, okay, this is good.
That's a
Like
good
even
question.
Avatar, I have not watched Avatar either.
I haven't watched
I liked it when I first saw it, but I had no desire to watch the second one at all.
I think like the closest thing I got to those type of movies is Avengers.
Okay.
Comic book movies, hype,
See, even
Or
Ray
is it
Velasquez,
overhyped?
hype.
Overhyped?
I don't know.
Overhyped?
I think
Even
I like
Ray
more.
Velasquez says he's not a fan of fantasy movies.
Yeah, I think I like more realistic movies. Like when you're talking about like swords and stuff and knights. It's like I prefer to be
So
realistic.
that kind of fantasy.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's not really
not
fantasy.
quite-
That's reality.
Grounded.
Depends. Yeah, I
I
guess.
can't think of a fantasy movie that involves like wizards and stuff.
now
I
that
think I
you-
roll my eyes.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I can't even remember.
Well, for me, it's the logic. It's like, all right,
Got
you
it.
supposedly got
Okay.
this guy who can just say words and he can do magic. It's like he should just do that the whole movie. He's got unlimited ammo. He could just waltz right through the movie, but he doesn't because that would ruin the plot. It wouldn't be exciting to watch. He would just
So you see all the
say abracadabra
loopholes.
and he'd be done. Yes, the loopholes, the suspension of disbelief. That's probably the same for Harry
Yeah.
Potter. I'm like, you guys can just like do whatever. Like this movie's done in like 10 minutes for me. Like put me in that world. Harry Potter's done in one movie in 10 minutes. Solved.
Got it.
But the mystery.
Okay.
What about the twist?
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Sorry-
just trying
sorry,
to think of
Tony.
other things that are like that. No, I know. I feel like I want to just crawl into a shell now. Just like- no, but
one-
it's what's up, brother?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just saying this is kind of natural to do. I feel like even like in friend groups, right? I feel like in my friend groups we have a lot of this like going on. I feel like for the longest time until I gave in, I didn't want anything to do with K-drama. I was just like, I'm not about it. And then I gave it a chance and I was like, okay.
Boo.
There's some
K-dramas
that I
are
like.
great.
It's great.
K-dramas are great. What are you
No,
talking about?
Great.
haven't given into that either.
I mean, I did give in at one. And again, I think it's because on me, like not trying to intentionally judge anyone. I think it's just when stuff is like so in your face, like when it's really hyped. I feel like I'm less likely to.
I agree with you on that because I remember my friends kept hyping up K-dramas. And I'm like, immediate reaction is like, no, there's no way it's that good. And then they finally force you to sit down and watch a 4-hour movie, a 4-hour K-drama.
It's a marathon.
And you're crying at the end. You're like, wait, it was so good. The movie was so good. I didn't see all the 20 twists that were coming.
There's so many, literally.
But I'll say that the same way with Harry Potter. So like I watched the first one and then I stopped watching it. And then my friends were like, well, you got to hang out with us and watch. And I was like, fine. So if you invite me, I will go. It's the same with the Marvel movies. I have no interest in watching Marvel movies. But
Really?
if my friends invite me, I'm like, sure, I'll hang out.
You just really need this this group that really understands you and they're willing to share and they're also willing to listen to what you have to say or what you have to share because it's give and take, and it's beneficial, right? I introduce you to my hobby or something that I like. Hey, let's see if it clicks with you, and then you do the same for me.
Yeah. In the end, your friends, they want you
Yeah.
to be there. They want you to hang out. So, and I felt the same way. It's like, yeah, I don't really care for this stuff, but it means a lot to you and you want me to be there with you.
Yes.
I might bring a neck pillow and sleep through the whole movie, but I mean, those movie theater naps, they hit different. I'll say that. Yeah.
You've actually
the
fallen
best.
asleep in a movie theater?
Sometimes I will intentionally bring a pillow and fall asleep in a movie because it is the best sleep you will get. Hear me out, okay?
Because it's so dark.
It's dark. I don't know. It's comforting. Plus, they have the reclining chairs and everything. I don't even fight the sleepiness anymore.
Yeah, you had
It's
it
like
good here.
if I'm sleepy and the movie's on, I'm like, this is gonna be the best like $15 that I will spend taking a nap because you will wake up feeling great. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Oliver put
Melanie
it-
chimed in.
Oh, yeah.
Melanie chimed in and said you were
Uh-oh.
sleeping 80% of the time. So Nate,
Exposed.
if that's what you want to do, you should go to Bangkok because they have movie theaters there that actually have beds. Okay, that way you can fall asleep while you're watching. a movie. Yes,
Really?
they're
Going to
actual beds.
Bangkok to sleep.
They're not recliners. They're not recliners. They're like queen size beds.
See, I'm sus about that though. I'm like someone else was like laying in this bed. I don't know what state of cleanliness they were in.
Right,
When they
that's
jump
just
in
like
bed.
when you go to a hotel. It's the same thing. It's someone
And they
else
change
slept in that
sheets.
bed.
No, it is not. That room is completely new every time I stay there.
No,
I beg to
No.
differ.
no.
They do not just flip the pillows and throw the sheets back on.
Yeah, they do.
I refuse to do that.
So yeah,
Don't ruin it for me, Arnie. Stop it.
Disillusioned. I also like what Oliver put. He said, I can't watch. This is kind of why I was turned off for K dramas for a while. He said, I can't watch anything I have to read subtitles for. Ain't got no time reading them. I
What?
like light watching.
Boo.
That's what I struggle with because you have to be able to. What I did
You
recently.
learn words. You learn new
Yeah, you need to have like time to kind of like sit
I
down
get
and
that
watch.
though. But you know, like with like anime, that's a big thing.
Mm.
Whether you watch subtitles or you hear it in the original language.
The purist will say, watch it in the original language with subtitles.
And that's the thing. It's like if I'm also like casually working on something, I just want something on in the background. Like
Mhm.
that doesn't work. at all.
Yeah, agree. I don't mind the dub. I know some people kind of hate on that, like what Brother Red said. Some people kind of hate
Yeah.
on like, why are you listening to the dub? I'm
Because
just like,
that
I need it.
that came from a time though in like the 80s and 90s when they just didn't translate it well. But now like there's a
Right,
lot more effort
Yeah.
putting into it
Mhm.
because anime is a
And
major
they're
art
good
form.
dubs. They're good
Yeah.
dubs. But me, I prefer subtitles.
Depends,
Yeah.
I think.
But
sometimes.
someone needs to be with me so that I can always ask,
well, like-
hey, what's happening already?
Like Attack on Titan, right? Attack on Titan, the characters are more of like it's more of like a European kind of setting. So to me, that
Is it
makes
really?
more sense that it's English
in English.
and not in Japanese. But if it does
haven't
take
watched
place
it
in
yet.
Japan, you haven't watched.
No,
Hey,
it's on my
you-
list. It's on my never-ending list of things that people have recommended to me. Because that's my thing. Like, even if I don't necessarily jump on it right away, I will put it on my list. I'll consider it. That's kind of like my version of you sitting through, like
Mhm.
with Melanie. Like, even though you're sleeping 80%, it's on my list. I'll get to it eventually. But
I think
a
we all
long
have
list.
that list.
yeah,
The list.
I have Braveheart, and I got made fun of last time.
Last time,
oh
right?
really?
You haven't done your assignment, man.
Oh no,
Your
Arnie, are you
assignment.
judging us? You're awfully quiet.
I know.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's,
I am.
just
It's
like-
like you and your
do any of that
Japanese
reading
cartoons.
stuff. I can't do any of that. reading
analyzing us.
Maybe that's her hot take is not watching the K drama because I feel like that was like the 3-in-1 where
No,
I gave in at one point.
But there was a lot of people in the chat who did say they do like the whole Korean drama. But like I said, I can't do it. My sisters got hooked into that to the point where they go crazy enough to go all the way to Korea and all those other places just to go. Like they'll go to the places where they filmed it just to take a picture to show that they've done it. So no, I'm good with my American movies.
No judgment.
See, when I was younger, I was definitely more like, this is what I'm into because my friends are into this, and I'm not gonna like those people are there because they're not into that, and we judge them for their tastes, which is just dumb. I'll just say it. It was dumb to think that way. I find myself now though, because I had missed out on a lot of different things, just doing like deep dives into different music genres, movie genres. Just going through like, I'm gonna watch a bunch of like Japanese movies from like the 70s or something, and then I'll go through another phase where I'm like, let me listen to this type of music and try to hear everything about it, see why people like a certain thing. But there's just certain things like I just could not like 80s music. Maybe that's a hot take for me. A lot of 80s music I just don't like.
I
Well,
think
I'm curious why, Nate. What's the reason behind?
The quality and a lot of 80s music, when you
Mm.
listen to it, it sounds like one dude on a keyboard. It's that keyboard. They just love that keyboard. And then the whole sound, the echoing hall sound, the reverb. That's the word I'm looking
Yeah, the
for.
reverb.
just an observation. I think the more movies are getting more popular, and then there's music, and then all types of media, we tend to, go back a decade ago and enjoy what was offered back then, and we're like, hey, this is good. This is good than what is being released right now. So that's just an
Mm.
observation.
Yeah, I
I
feel
have
that
a
way with
reverse
movies.
kind of like of that, Nate, what you brought up earlier. Like, is there stuff that you kind of shunned, or for Brother Renz or Arnie, is there stuff that you kind of shunned out because everybody else like was saying, "Oh, I don't like that," and you kind of just like agreed with it, but then later on you gave it a chance. You're like, "Oh, this is actually not that bad." Do
Yeah,
you have
there
anything
are
like
No,
things like that.
I think I stood my ground. If I liked it and nobody else liked it, I didn't care.
that? Mm.
For me, it was the Beatles. Remember, I
Mm.
liked it when I was a kid, and everyone else hated it, and so I pretended like I hated it too. I guess I was
Oh,
pretending to hate it, but then like when I got older, everyone loved it again. I'm like, what is this? And that was the same for Dragon Ball Z. Okay,
really?
that's a kids show, by the way, and
Yes, it
The
is.
OG.
I
That's
saw it first in the Philippines before it came to the United States. I thought it was the coolest show ever. And while I was in the Philippines, I bought like the playing cards and
so you're
everything.
watching it in Tagalog.
I don't know. I don't know if it was in Tagalog. I don't remember. It was cool, anyways, right? It's just these, blonde hair, blue eyed guys who are like fighting each other. Arnie, you went to
Right.
Arnie,
Dragon Ball Z.
Yes,
you
my
like
kind
you
of
like
people.
those. You like those.
My kind
But
of people. But
I
that's
bought
next
like
week's topic.
I bought like the action figures and the playing cards, and then I came back to the States and I was showing my friends, and they made fun of me. They're like, "What is this? This is dumb." And then like
Mm.
when a few years later, when they were teenagers, they were all into it, and I'm like, "Really, really, guys, you did this to me."
That sucks. That realization, you're like, I should have just. Well, here's Arnie. Arnie's always the one like, no, I don't care. I stood my ground.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, because I'm trying to think of anything that they kind of influenced me on that. Like I said, people are trying to get me into the whole uh the Korean bands,
Yeah.
K-pop. Yeah, no. And they're like, yeah, you can come with us and do all this kind of stuff. I'm like, no. It's just, I don't know. If they're not blue eye blonde here, then
Yeah, I remember my friends pushing K-pop on me a long time ago.
Mm-mm.
I was like, "Nope, nope." I was listening to like rock and metal, and I was like, "No, this is like the opposite of what I'm listening to." But then now I'm like, it was one of the deep dives I did. I'm like, "Oh, the music's nice. I like it.
I
It's
remember
catchy."
my friends back then when we were in high school, and I know I'm kind of a weird person. I'm a loner, but these group of friends of mine, though I want and I like something that they're not even aware of it. Uh, they don't even engage into those things. But me being their friend, they gave it a try, and even if they messed up with, for example, anime stuff, even if they messed up saying the names of the characters or even the story itself, they gave it a chance, and they're always projecting that, hey, we're here for you, and whatever it is that you want to talk about, whatever it is that you're into, we're here for you, we're gonna support you. And that's a good thing, that's a beautiful thing. And back then I told myself, okay, this is what I'm going to do with others. If they're someone who doesn't engage, if there's someone who thinks that they're the loner type and no one even understands them, no one likes what they want, you don't have to like it, totally. You just have
Mhm.
to hear them out, give it a chance. And it feels great to other people if someone is listening to you and someone shows concern and just a bit, even a bit of interest on something that you're very passionate about.
Right. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Like that's something I learned as I got older, that I appreciate my friends' interests, even though I don't have an interest in it. Just the passion that they have for it, how much they invest in it. They like talking about it. And in turn, I like actually hearing about it. If you have an interest and you want to lay it out on me, I love hearing about new ones. Now, whether or not I get into it, it's another thing. Like I think of like Warhammer. You ever heard of that?
Yes.
So it's like they have
Tabletop game.
it's a tabletop game. They got little
Mm.
figurines, but they got to paint it themselves. And hearing my friends talk about like just the amount of work that goes into it, it's like I can appreciate having a passion like that requires that much attention and detail and work put into that hobby. And in the end, it's like it's not a bad hobby. It's not a destructive
It's
hobby.
not destructive. It's
So
not
it's like,
harmful.
of course, I'm going to support my friends, that have, hobbies that are healthy for them, I guess you could say.
It's good reminders about your social circle, right? Who you're surrounding yourself with. Like, are
Yes.
these people gonna just make fun? I mean, it's one thing to kind of like rag on your friends, right? Like, you're watching that again, but then, on the other hand, actually like taking them seriously, sometimes they're giving them that opportunity to share something with you, right? It's like a love language, I feel like got from
Yes.
someone.
We banter here now and then, but love is there, right?
Mhm.
And respect with each other's likes and preferences. It's a
Do
friendly
you,
banter.
yeah, friendly banter. Do you think that a lot of the stigma sometimes around like preferences and like let's say for music, because Nate, you brought up earlier for you is more in terms of what you were listening to, you just didn't like it. But I feel like sometimes some people can kind of get into a sophisticated kind of thing, like, oh, you like that kind of book, like, oh, that's so there's like a word that the Gen Z uses now that's so mid. Like that's so, which is supposed to mean like bad, I guess, or like that's so like inferior. Like, do you guys
It
think
doesn't
that
mean
it's a?
bad. It just means like mediocre.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
mediocre.
I was
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
So
not
do you
even
think
Gen Z. What is it?
preferences?
To go off of that, Ray Velasco did put something in the chat where he said he was judged as old-fashioned person for always listening to classical songs.
Yeah. Why do we do that?
It's relaxing though.
I think maybe pop culture, like this is my guess. It was probably a pop culture thing. Because if you remember movies from the 80s, that was when they were trying to appeal to like teenagers. And whenever they would have movies just to make them interesting, they would have stereotypes of,
Mhm.
these are the jocks, these are these are the
True.
nerds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And since you're consuming that content, you're also consuming, the rivalry that they have in those movies, that these people supposedly aren't supposed to get along. And of course, the teenagers, your mind's not fully mature yet.
Mm.
So you just like buy into that. Because that's what I saw when I was in high school. Those who were in punk rock did not like the guys who were into metal, who didn't like the guys, who listened to whatever was on top 40. So that was a big thing. And I totally bought into that. And just looking back is like, why did I ever do that? That was, it's an irrational way to, not make friends with people. And I almost felt like ashamed because I had friends who were into all sorts of things. I felt like now it's not accurate the way they show that people in high school who come from, these different groups can't all be friends and get along. Because I knew that because I had friends from, who were in the different types of social groups. But I had friends who were just so staunch in one particular group. It's like I had to hide my friendships from them because they had such strong opinions that I felt, weren't really grounded in
Going with
anything
them.
real. Yeah. It's like so juvenile.
Okay. Did you experience anything like that, Arnie, growing up? I feel like I didn't, not as much. I feel like people were more open. I didn't experience the judging too much.
Back then it was, you could see it like he said, like all the jocks, they hung out with each other, and then they even had like different cultural groups. Like if you weren't a certain ethnicity, people wouldn't hang out with you. But for me, I just try to make friends with everyone because I did not want to get beat up at school. So I was just trying to be friends with anybody I could be friends with.
Survive here.
And didn't stick with a particular group. Because if I were stuck with a particular group, I would have been stuck with the nerds because, I had like all honors classes and everything like that. But I made it a point that I'm going to make friends with everyone so that, I got people to back me up.
I like that you brought up the ethnicity thing because growing up, in high school, I did have a lot of there was an influx of different Filipinos that were around, but in elementary school and middle school, it was always kind of hard to explain like the food that I would eat or
Mhm.
the things that I was into, and that was always kind of like not really. It's not like they were judging, but they were just kind of they were skeptical, or they were just like they would just ask a lot of questions, and I wouldn't know how to explain myself.
Like, what's that purple stuff you're eating?
It would be like that, like it would just be hard. And I feel like it's that sometimes too, right? Where it's not just necessarily a matter like this is better or like this is inferior, but sometimes just not knowing, right? Just not knowing like what it is. Because I feel like for the longest time with the whole K-pop thing, I heard about that way before it blew up, and I never like paid attention to it. I was like, I don't think. Eventually, I gave it a chance, later on. It was more I opened myself up to it more when I got recommendations. I'm more that's what it is. I'm more open when people will recommend stuff to me
Mm.
as opposed
So
to
so
venturing
are
out
you
on
a
my own.
fan now? Are you a
I'm
K-pop
not like a
fan?
hardcore fan
You're
like
not an
some of my
army?
friends. I'm not I'm not. I
Army.
don't do the whole,
The whole
the
group thing.
no,
Oh,
I
that's a whole
can't.
nother
There's
topic.
some
Yeah,
Yeah.
you find out
yeah.
that some of these people who are into certain pop culture things have very strong opinions on them
Oh yeah.
versus like
Loyalty
I was
is
like, I just
like
think this is just music. I just want to
That's
listen to
that's
music.
celebrity worship already. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
healthy anymore.
yeah.
Well,
It's
our
kind of
opinion. Our opinion.
yeah.
yeah.
I'm like you. Like when we went to that one restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
like every time I go now and I look at the menu, I'm just like, what do you think is good? I'm like, I think the people who work here will know what's actually good. I
Yeah.
always get recommendations now.
The most expensive one is the good one.
Yeah. And that's how I became. It's just I no longer think like I can pick the best thing. It's like I want to
Mhm.
know what my friends recommend. Even when I travel, it's like, oh hey, you're traveling to this place. I'm familiar with the area, and I'm like, oh, recommend a place for me to eat. And they get kind of nervous. They're like, ooh, if you don't like it, like I'm gonna like ruin our friendship. Like, no, it's
We'll
just
try.
so I don't have to worry about it. Because things can already be vouched for, by your friends. So that's what I value also.
And they know what you want, so at least based on that, they can recommend something.
Right.
I feel like the fear a lot of the time too is kind of being cast out as a weirdo. Like, like being you're like called out. The reason why I thought of that is because I was looking at Oliver's comment. He said, I feel like we shouldn't feel ashamed of things we like and enjoy. We shouldn't deprive ourselves of enjoyment. But if that thing being enjoyed is wrong or harmful to others, of course that is shameful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
True. True.
Like most things we talk about here, there's nuance to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuances. Hmm. How do you guys think that we can be, I guess, more open to people's different tastes? We could be in friend groups where we're vastly
Mhm.
different from other people. Like, are there things that you guys do to kind of open yourself up to more understanding people better, or just being more open to their preferences? Like me, like Nate, would you ever give me the opportunity to watch Lord of the Rings? Are you going to? No, probably
I
not.
already
Because it's
watched
like
it 3 times.
3 times, right?
The fourth one's not gonna get any better.
It's gonna get better. I promise you.
So Nate, you have watched it, you're just not a fan. Is that what
Oh,
it
have I
is?
watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
You.
Yeah, I watched it 3 times a night.
Like all the
But
way
you're just not
through.
a fan.
All the way through. Yeah.
Just kidding.
I no.
Okay.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
I
People can
remember
respect that.
I remember watching it the third time too and being like, all right, people got to be right about this, and all the Academy Award nominations got to be right about this. And then like, when I get to the third one, I'm like rolling my eyes so hard and complaining about everything. I'm like, no, I will never like this movie.
See, but at least he did try to watch it.
Yeah.
Me, I have
There's-
not watched it, and I don't plan on watching it, and I don't care how people tell me it's a great movie. I'm just not going to watch it because it's not something I think I'm going to enjoy. Like, and I guess that goes both ways, because before I never watched any of the Avenger movies either, right? And then one time they had me watch Thor, and I said, Oh, okay. So those are our characters, huh? Then I started watching all the Avengers because, see how cute Captain America is and Thor. I'm like, now I'll watch it.
You're blondies.
Yes.
No, I'm glad
I
you brought
think
that up though, Arnie. Sorry, Brother Renz. Go ahead.
yeah, we should when it comes to connecting with other people in stuff like this that we're talking about, level with them. Always think that the world doesn't revolve around us, right? We need to connect with other people, and these are hobbies, these are preferences. No hobby or preferences is superior than the other. Don't raise your pinky
Yeah.
like you're superior and they're beneath you. Level with them, and just try it. You wouldn't degrade yourself. You will not lose anything, right? You will not lose your dignity when it comes to trying to connect what other people prefer, right? If it's not for you, then you know y- move on forward from it, right?
Now,
So,
I
so
brought up something.
Carmen's, what is it that you don't eat?
Vegetables.
So that means because we're friends, you're going to have to try vegetables because you don't just try it. And then if you don't like it, then it's okay.
I tried it. I gave it a chance.
I'm going to cook some other vegetable and then I'm going to have you try it and let's see if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, I eat garlic, onion. Does that count?
No, those are not real. Those are roots.
And I think about like, if you can't tell your friends about, certain interests that you're in because you feel like you'd be embarrassed by them. Are they really your friends in that case? Because then you're
Yeah.
not really being yourself in that case. Because that's something I realized like growing up. Because all the friends that I had, during that time who were like that, they're not my friends now.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
the ones that weren't, so judgy about, your preferences and whatnot and what you were into, I'm still friends with them now. So that's another lesson that I learned too. It's like you can't really be yourself, and when you're young, that's a lot more difficult, right? The idea that you would lose friends that you've made, but as you get older, you just realize, well, some people just aren't gonna like me for who I am, and I'm just gonna have to accept it. But I'd rather be myself than lose myself.
Yeah.
I think if
That's a
That
good.
you're
I gotta agree with. I
scared,
agree with that.
or if you're having trouble opening up with a group of people, I think you should move on from that. It's not it's not healthy.
Yeah, because in the end, like these are just things. They'll always be around, but people won't always be around.
Mhm.
That's something I'm realizing as I get older. It's like the people that I know, like that's going to be the most valuable to me. All these other things, there's a time and place where I can get to them, but if my friends want me to be there for something, then I will be there, as much as possible.
And hopefully they do the same. Right? It's a
Hopefully, yeah.
mutual thing.
Give and take. I like that we keep pointing that out because I'm trying to respect Arnie also in her views and not trying to force, not trying to force things as well. It's a lot of gosh, we're speaking in a lot of nuance here. It always depends on the situation, right? Like being able to respect when I'm not going to force Nate for the fourth time to watch these movies, right? And then at the same time, like pinagbibigyan, like giving people like opportunity to even just because there are things that I'll ask my friends about that I'm not passionate about. I just try to stay curious, like, oh, how's that thing, that you're working on? Like I myself would never, let's say it's about drawing. I mean, I do like arts, but I'm not a great drawer. But I'll ask my friends about how that's going, like even just a simple conversation about it. It can be enough to bridge some things. Like what you said earlier, Brother Renz, remembering that our world is not it's not just revolving around us. There's a lot of other people that we can bridge things together. But Ube, I'm sorry, I can't I can't change the love that I have for it to be more than what it is. It's just
Yeah.
it is what it is. There's
I
some
Just
other
can't
give
nice.
you the ice cream form of it.
Yeah.
And just to kind of like agree with you, because like sometimes now they're having that craze of like ube everything, like right, ube pancakes and all that stuff. But a lot of it, they're just putting the food coloring in it. It's not even real ube. It doesn't even taste like it. So it's, you're not really missing out on a lot. But the ice cream, I have to say, that one really tastes like ube.
Yeah, we'll bring the Selecta one, that brand.
Magnolia.
Oh, Magnolia. Okay.
No, I don't really care for Jollibee.
Yes.
That's
Oh.
Thank you.
controversial.
Hot take.
Oh.
See, I remember
Sorry.
when I was a kid, because before the Jollibee craze came here to the States, I remember as a kid going there, and you're going to compare it to McDonald's. You're like, this is not as good as McDonald's. And this was like in the 90s. And then when it came here, and people were waiting like 3 hours in line, I'm like, all right, I will hang out with you, but I'm not waiting 3 hours in line for
Yeah.
Jollibee.
But peach mango pie is great.
It's
that is the
okay.
only, no,
And the
that is the
palabok.
only thing I eat at Jollibee.
It's
I will only have their
Okay.
pies. I've never had their burgers.
the
and
burgers
then
are decent.
No, I only have their pies. That's the only thing I will eat there.
I'll eat it,
won't
but
eat
I
it.
won't wait 3 hours in line for it. I
Yeah.
won't
Nope.
even wait 3 hours in line for anything that I currently like,
Yeah.
much less
Same.
that.
No, we're not doing that. Peach mango pie is. I'm sorry. No judgment. It's okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Thank you
I
for accepting me, Carlos. He's accepting me. Thank you, brother. Ed. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of that stuff, the Jollibee. I feel like sometimes it's also nostalgia, no? Like just sometimes
Mhm.
it's just
Yeah,
like what
there's
you
that.
grew up with. It's kind of like memories.
Well, here in Texas, I don't like Whataburger. I'm like In-N-Out's way better.
Oh.
That is
In-N-Out,
very
sorry, In-N-Out.
controversial.
In-N-Out.
Yeah, that's very controversial here in
I just
Texas.
wish
It
they,
is.
they will bring Chowking here.
No, the
Oh.
Texans are really proud of their Whataburger, and when you tell them that In-N-Out is way better, they're gonna give you a look like you're crazy.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas does have some pretty strong opinions, but Whataburger
Yes.
just, and I love Texas, and I'm a Texan, but Whataburger, I'm sorry, it's just not as good.
I'm still
In and
not
out
a
is that's Cali original.
California. Yes, it is.
California.
See, even Matt said In-N-Out over Whataburger. That's right, Matt. I totally agree with you.
I'll take. I don't eat burgers.
Really?
Yeah.
For the runs, never, ever.
Don't Americanize
Aw.
me. No.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad for you.
I'm not a burger person either, but if I'm going to have a burger, it is going to be In-N-Out and not Whataburger.
There's
But
like
back then,
a
when I was young, I don't do pizza. But now I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
You
Oh, that's
grew
Give it
to
a
another
like
thing.
chance.
it.
I enjoy it. I like it.
Pizza, there are definitely pizza
But I do
styles.
have my preferences.
I remember
pizza.
joking on social media that Little Caesars pizza was peak New York pizza, and I got a direct message.
You got threats.
He was like, "Hold up." I was like, I'm just kidding. He's like, all right. I thought so, but I wanted to make sure. Because he's from New York. He loves New York.
New York
And I-
pizza is better, though. That is the best.
I
I
haven't
like
tried.
that over Chicago.
Hmm.
You know, the
It's in
best
Chicago.
pizza that I've had, like any type, is from Houston. I don't care what anyone says. The best food I've had. I've had better Chicago pizza in Houston. I've had better
What?
New York pizza in Houston. Yes. The Houston has the best food scene in the country.
Okay,
Full
so
stop.
Mm.
when,
I don't care
when you
what you mention. Okay, you can say California tacos. It's better in Houston.
Try it.
no, you need to
Hmm.
go fly to Italy, and then you tell me which pizza's better.
I was gonna say.
Houston. I
Italy's
can almost
got
guarantee
some
you
good
Houston
pizza.
has it better.
Have you had?
I can
Yeah.
have pizza there every day
Neapolitan.
in Italy.
Neapolitan. I would love to try.
I love when
Yeah.
people make fun of Neapolitan pizza. They're like, they just kind of netted the dough and then they just threw the sauce on it and then just randomly threw slices of cheese on it and called it a day. It's like, no, don't you want the pizza nice and uniform so you can taste all the flavors in every bite? Because
Yeah, but they have their own way of doing it.
yeah, but real Italian pizza looks like how a 4-year-old would draw it.
But they don't care about the size even. Just
Wait,
put it
what?
there. Just put it there. And I think that's what it makes their pizza, unique and delicious.
Yeah.
But I've yet to try it. But they say that just like what Tony's saying earlier, she doesn't like overhyped things. They're overhyping it. They're saying they're the best. Okay.
I'm trying
We'll
to be more
see.
open
We'll
for the
see.
rest. We'll see.
Doesn't Detroit have their own pizza?
The deep
We
dish.
do, but I don't even understand it.
Can you
Like,
describe what
Is
the
that a
Detroit
square one?
pizza is?
I couldn't even describe it to you because I don't know what the difference is. There were people that moved here from other states and they're like, "Oh, can we have Detroit pizza?" And I was like, "I don't know what
What
that
does that mean? What
is.
does that mean?
What does that mean? I don't know. I think it's supposed to be Jets. I think it's like the square type, like it's
Square and
close,
it's deep.
it's thicker. I want to
Ah,
say that's what it is, but I'm not sure. I just
I
thought
think
that was four-quarter pizza.
I think Pittsburgh pizza was the worst I've ever heard because I think they
Sorry,
just
Pittsburgh.
they cook the bread and the sauce and then they throw the toppings on cold. They're like, there you go, bud. There's your pizza. That was Pittsburgh pizza.
Oh,
It sounds very depressing.
that sounds like a Lunchable.
Yeah,
Like
thinking that.
literally. And I would eat Lunchables when I was growing up. Yeah, that sounds like a Lunchable. Ooh, live chat. They're all talking about different pizzas. I'm laughing at Oliver's comment about the peach mango
Apple
pie
pie.
and apple pie.
What do you
Go ahead
say?
and read it.
That's really funny. When I hear peach mango pie, I think about this video I've seen on social media. Customer at Jollibee asks, "Do you take Apple Pay?" And the cashier says, "No, we have peach mango pie." Lost in translation there. I think that's part of it sometimes too. I feel like when we're meshing like with the cultures and everything, or just again
Yeah.
just going back to differences, a lot of the preferences I feel like are influenced by that stuff. So you'll get some clash every now and again, but it's
there's
good to
always
talk
gonna be
about it.
debate.
Mhm. It's good to talk about it and try to gently convince or gently um, bring what's a good word? Like
Garner interest.
garner interest. Yes.
Import ideas.
I didn't want to say like plant seeds. I was just like, I don't think that sounds right, but import interest. That's a good one. Yeah.
Mm.
Staying open. I think staying open, staying curious is what I've gathered from our topic today about not judge. Like that's the alternate as opposed to being so quick to judge, being open, being curious, having conversations about it. Especially for the young ones who are watching. Not that we're not young, but the younger the younger ones that are watching. I do like what Nate and brother Ren said earlier, where you don't want to, in terms of your tastes and everything, you might be still trying to build that up as you get older, but don't be ashamed of the things that you like, but also don't pressure yourself to like things that other people like too. I feel like that's where my whole overhype stuff came from, is because I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to just jump into things just because people were saying that, oh, it's cool, oh, I like that. I wanted to see it, for myself before be like, okay, I enjoy this, you know.
See, and like that. So if there's something you don't like, but then you're willing to try it just to see, right? And then if you really don't like it, then I think it's okay because at least you gave it the chance and you tried. But sometimes it's one of those like me where I'm never going to watch Lord of the Rings, whether you like it or not. I'm just not going to do it. See, that's different. But if you at least try it, but since Nate already tried it and he didn't like it, I'm not going to waste my time.
So who here has tried balut?
I have.
Tried what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Balut.
Balut. Have you, Orny?
Is that what they
No.
call 10-day-old?
I'm sorry. I'm from
In English.
America. I don't eat half baked chicken in an egg.
I tried it and I'm like, this tastes exactly what you think it would. Like,
But did you try it? Where did you try it though?
it's like unseasoned chicken is what it tastes like. I was like, this is not good.
Fair enough.
Put some salt in it.
That's what it
It's
needs.
so much better in the Philippines. I've
think
tried
it-
it here and in the
hear-
Philippines.
You can hear the crunch when they're biting the.
I feel like it
stuff.
needs 18 months, and then deep fry it.
No,
Let it grow up a little first.
no.
There's always an acquired taste. That's what Oliver put
Yeah,
in the
that's
chat. Yeah,
acquired.
that's true. I didn't mind it. In the Philippines, it tastes way different.
That's the
than
thing.
I've had
Balut
it.
has no taste. What taste is there to
No,
it?
there's
It's so bland.
Well, that's why they put a lot of salt. I see people putting salt on it all the
Salt,
time.
vinegar.
Okay, then you like salt. You don't really like balut.
I like the I don't want to detail things that might the juice from the egg. That's what I
Okay.
like.
All right, we should end the show.
I think we should.
Okay, hold on.
You
Jane
can't end
said,
it on balut juice. Sorry.
Jane
Juice.
said put salt in
No.
it, don't peel it completely, and eat it in a dimly lit room.
Don't
So
look
you
at
don't-
That way you don't see what you're eating.
it. Just savor it.
Just close your eyes and taste is what Oliver
Just
said.
savor the lack of flavor.
Savor.
Savor the lack of flavor.
Even Pauline said she doesn't eat that stuff. See?
Aw.
It's
Any final thoughts, guys, before we close out the show? Not
okay to
blood.
be different. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, tastes are okay, but I think within reason. There's of course certain things that definitely cross the lines into being going against Christian principles that, you got to draw a clear, distinct line. So I'll just say that.
Don't be afraid to try new things, but know our boundaries.
That's it, everyone. That's the show. We hope that you enjoyed. Do leave a comment if you're watching this on replay and share it with anyone that you think might be judging your taste, or you were like, just watch this. Okay, just watch this. But comment there also if there's any topics that you would like to see us cover in the future. Chatline is a place where we want to be able to talk to each other, have good conversations, have a laugh, and be able to talk about stuff that matters. So, until next time, we'll see you again, same time next week. This has been INCRadio Chat Line. Take care, everyone. Bye. Have some balut.
No, thank
No.
you.
No.
Pauline says she's thankful that her husband was a church before they came.